Now, over the years, people refer to watchtowers and writings by Jehovah's Witnesses, and they say, look, they said this then, and now they've changed their mind. They can't be proper Christians. But Jehovah's Witnesses, at the very beginning, were called International Bible Students. Now, what would you expect from Bible students? Would you expect them to get all their understandings of the scriptures and what Jesus wanted to be done perfectly? Or would they make mistakes? The Jehovah's Witnesses have always admitted they are imperfect, and that those who are responsible for teaching or sharing in the teachings have often admitted that they're not infallible. You know, there may be other churches, Christian churches, that claim to have the whole truth, and it's always been right. But, for example, Protestantism, they hold basically all the teachings of the Catholic Church. So where's the change? So anyway, in 2024, there was a governing body update, and they have a broadcast every month. And this is January the 1st, a couple of tiny little snippets, just to prove what Jehovah's Witnesses consider to be
gradually when it is needed. And also, the governing body is neither inspired nor infallible. And so it can err in doctrinal matters or in organizational direction. The brothers do the best they can with what they have and what they understand at the time, but are happy if Jehovah sees fit to clarify matters. And then that can be shared with the brotherhood. And when that happens, we understand it's because it's Jehovah's time for that to happen, and we eagerly accept that.
So, nice bit of humility there. Now, this is indicated when the next person who's going to speak is a governing body member. And he expresses a teaching or a belief that was much different in the past and has been mentioned in Watchtower publications right through 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And he explains why we can't be dogmatic. And that was one of the themes of this broadcast, was not to be dogmatic. Leave it up to God to make, because he's the judge of all things. So have a listen in.
Gomorrah sleep an everlasting sleep. The women, the children, babies. And was there not one redeemable Assyrian soldier in that band of 185,000 who died at the hand of Jehovah's angel? We don't have the answer to those questions. But we do know one thing. The merciful judge of all the earth will do what is right. Wait a minute. Did I hear that right? We don't have the answer to those questions? I thought we did. In the past, our publications have stated that there's no hope of a resurrection for those who died in the flood or those destroyed in Sodom and Gomorrah. But do we really know that? The men of Sodom and Gomorrah were certainly wicked, and they deserved to die for what they did.
So there it is. So notice he performed rather well there, didn't he? He made it clear that we really don't know. And yes, we've been dogmatic about things, and we've said this is antitypical this and that, because it was mentioned that the antitypical flood, Jehovah closed the door. And so when does he close the door now? But the Bible never talks about an antitypical flood ark or a door. That was put into the watchtowers to make them more interesting and exciting in the past. So another subject that was discussed is when the end is going to come. And they listed a number of events that need to take place. And one of the important points was that they said the preaching work must continue right in through the Great Tribulation to the end of it. We don't know how long the Great Tribulation is. When it begins, the preaching work will continue, and there could potentially be millions of other people at the time who are not witnesses who decide to support God and his son, and so they survive. They get marked as sheep. So that's an event in the future, and the emphasis was that Jehovah's Witnesses need to keep on preaching the good news right up and through to the end, because he mentions also that the Israelites, when they came out of left Egypt and went through the Red Sea and were rescued, millions, a vast mixed company joined them, and so we don't know who the vast mixed company is, but we know there will be others who will join us. Many may have heard the message that Jehovah's Witnesses have preached, not taken any notice of it, but it's spurred them on later, at the last minute maybe. So it's very nice, up-to-date 2024. We know things are getting hotter. The end is getting closer, but Jehovah's Witnesses were urged not to be dogmatic, to get on with what they've been told to do. And so if you're someone who listens to the videos about Jehovah's Witnesses change their beliefs, well, the only belief we stand by is that Almighty God, Jehovah, will do things in his own good time, and he'll save those whom he chooses to do. And for Christians that exist, they've been given instructions what to do, and it's important that they do it. So thank you very much. Take care, and hopefully you'll subscribe, and I'll see you again.